Hello everybody. Welcome back to part, what is this, 4, 3, 4, something, 4. We'll call it 4. Part 4 of the Aces Goes Off-Road series that I'm doing on this 89 YJ. We got Todd, we got Peyton, he's the owner of the Jeep. Today, we fire it up. We go through the startup wizard and everything, so if you've never done that before, stay with me and I'll kind of show you the simple way to do it. Welcome to Treerow Rescue. Alright, as promised, this is going to be the first startup. We're going to go through the startup wizard. This is the 5-inch screen. If you ordered 7-inch screen, it's going to be a little bit larger, of course. Kind of easier to read, but here we go. Keys going on, and we're going hot. Here we go. Fingers crossed, say your prayers. Alright, we got power. Alright, here's our startup wizard. As soon as it comes on, you're going to see all this. We are not doing the jackpot. We're not doing the wild card. We are doing the kill shot. So we're going to select kill shot. And now we're going to go over here. And we're going to go over to wizards. So as soon as you select kill shot, it brings up your dash. Once it brings up your dash, you're going to be able to see figures that it does not exist. I mean, it's your battery voltage, yes. IAC position, nothing is programmed at this point. Worry about nothing except for that. That's your battery voltage. All right, so we're going to hit the 4 boxes up in the top right hand corner, and we're going to go down to wizards. First thing you're going to do is set your throttle position sensor. So you're going to collect that. Okay, now we're going to do a startup wizard. We're going to do a stock cam. See, wizard, cam type, stock. Select the next arrow. These are blacked out because it already knows, it's in the programming. Now, this is where it gets interesting. You could do a coil. You could do a MSD style or HEI style right there. You could do points ignition, like if you did not change out any of your ignition system to do like your classic car or a vehicle that is set up for points ignition. If your distributor and coil and everything are exactly the same and you just installed this system with the kill shot itself and the fuel system, you select that. We're doing magnetic. So we're going to click magnetic. We're going to go over to the next one. Number of injectors. That is, if you got Deuces Wild, you have 2 injectors. If you got the kill shot, you got 4 injectors. So we're going to select that. We're going to keep that there. I never changed that whenever I did my first one. That's perfectly fine. This is your cubic inches. So what we're going to do is slide this bar close to 305. That's about as close as I'm going to be able to get. Select it manually. Bam, there's that. Hot idle, 850. Let's start it at 900. It just makes life a little easier. This is how I did that. And you can change this at any time whenever you are in your programming or tuning. So 900 RPM. Next. Now you double check everything. Cam, stock, wideband O2 sensor 1, RPM, magnetic, your distributor, magnetic, number of injectors, your fuel pressure, what your injector flow rate is, your engine displacement 305, 900 startup RPM. Select. Are you sure to want to save? Yes. Now it's going to tell us to turn it off for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Turn the system back on, and that is how you do the startup wizard. Now, is this thing going to bark off immediately? Hopefully. Let's find out. Let's do this. Got a little bit excited. We forgot to put fuel in it. Anyway, and I almost forgot to tell you another thing to do. You go in here to tuning, go over here to spark, go to advanced, ignition timing, you select that, hit, and you lock your timing. And then you save it. You have to have it locked because whenever it's coming up, you don't want it to advance or do anything like that. Now you go into basic, 15 degrees. That's way high. Let's bring everything to 15 degrees. And then we will adjust that as we program it. I'm setting everything to 15 degrees, that way nothing gets hurt, right? Because we don't want to damage the engine. It's just safe. That's just what I do. You don't have to do it. You can do it some other way. I want to save that. We're at 15 degrees and it's locked, okay? I'm going to back out, back out. Now you do not have to turn it off once you save something within this screen here. I'm hoping that you can kind of see this screen. I might zoom in on it if I can. So we had a scare, and it's nothing with the ACES system. Remember how I said a few videos ago that somebody engine swapped this and the wiring was a rat's nest and it was just gnarly and you needed a chip like this guy? It's a little chip. Well, we eliminated most of that except for the harness for the transmission. We're not familiar with this type of transition, if you will, but we hooked up the ACES. So check this out. This is amazing. We have done zero tuning. You hear the fuel pump priming. Watch this. Here was what scared us. He's off and it's still running. Evidently, what's left of that ECM, electronic control module, is still keeping a couple of volts to the ignition hot. And the only way to kill it, now mind you, it's off, it's still running, is to pull our ignition hot from the fuse box. So we got to run our own ignition hot. I got nervous. I ain't gonna lie. I grabbed my coat right over the kill shot to starve it of air and killed it. It's not gonna hurt it. It was just the safest way I think because the alternator's hooked up. You unhook the battery, guess what? It's still gonna run. I wasn't aware that he had his ignition hot right there by my foot, or else I'd have just, you know. But there we go. There's a laugh. So we're gonna get that. And then we're going to let it get up to operating temperature. I'm going to look at the timing to make sure that the engine itself, that it is riding at 15 degrees advanced, and we'll go from there. So let's get this wired in and then I'll be back. So we got it figured out. Chill shut off now. Key on, ignition hot on. Kill shot comes on. Now we got to let it sit and run. good shape right now. We gotta adjust our IAC linkage, which is this. So this linkage right here is the IAC linkage. As I do this, it's sticky. See, it's got that little bit of play in it. We're going to adjust on that so it's nice and snug. That way it'll come back to zero whenever the throttle comes back to zero. And it's really simple. There's just a pin on the inside of that. You pull that pin out and you run that little screw in or out, whichever direction that you need. Place it back in and just make sure there's a little bit of tension on it. A little bit, not a lot. Not bad, right? Can't wait to hit the trails. God, it runs so much better. It's idling at about 960. It's still getting up to operating temperature, but it's awesome. All right, so we did a complete master kit tonight. It's getting kind of late. We want some food, so we're not going to go trail riding just yet, but I'm going to call it a success. And now he's part of the Aces family. Sweet. 305, 89 YJ with Aces. Let's see how good it does off-road in the next one. Thank you for watching Treerow Rescue.